A warm welcome to all our viewers. I'm your host, Shivangi Mishra, and you're watching another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. India's growing role in shaping global conversations was on full display at the G7 summit in France, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlighted the priorities of the Global South, called for stronger international cooperation, and held a series of high-level bilateral meetings with world leaders. The visit underscored India's increasing influence in addressing global challenges and strengthening strategic partnerships across regions. Your report.
Amid growing geopolitical uncertainty, India is emerging as a leading voice for cooperation, stability, and the aspirations of the Global South. At the G7 summit in Evian, France, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called for stronger international cooperation, stressing that energy, food, health, cyber, and economic security are deeply interconnected in today's world. The summit also provided an opportunity to deepen India's global partnerships. On the sidelines, Prime Minister Modi held bilateral meetings with several world leaders. His discussions with President Trump focused on expanding India-US cooperation across key sectors and exchanging views on major regional and global developments. Together, these engagements highlighted India's growing influence in shaping global conversations and advancing the priorities of the Global South.
राष्ट्रपति जी आपसे मिलकर के बहुत खुशी हो रही है और पिछले वर्ष हम वाशिंगटन में मिले थे। उसके बाद हमारे संबंधों में एक नई गति आई है, नई ऊर्जा आई है और कई विषयों में हम बहुत मिल करके आगे चल रहे हैं और हमारे लिए खुशी की बात है कि हमारी दोनों टीमें भी मिलजुल करके हमने जो टारगेट तय किए उसको पूरा करने के लिए भरपूर प्रयास कर रहे हैं और हम बहुत तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं।
We're doing a lot of things are happening between the United States and India. The United States is doing the best we've ever done. We have over $19.2 trillion coming in, and we're building factories, we're building everything, and Prime Minister is building a lot in the United States. He's spending a lot of money in the United States, so we appreciate that. Jobs.
Prime Minister Modi's visit also underscored the growing India-France strategic partnership. In Nice, President Emmanuel Macron and Prime Minister Modi jointly inaugurated Bharat Innovates 2026, the largest Indian deep tech event ever held outside India. Praising India's dynamic innovation ecosystem, President Macron highlighted the country's rapid rise as a global hub for technology, research and entrepreneurship, reflecting the expanding scope of India-France cooperation in the innovation economy.
Pourquoi pour la France l'Inde est une évidence et votre capacité à innover l'est? Je dirais de manière très directe et très simple. Vous avez le dividende démographique. Un pays d'1,4 milliard d'habitants. Un pays qui depuis très longtemps a fait le pari du savoir, de l'intelligence, de la recherche et qui forme aujourd'hui autant d'ingénieurs que l'Europe et les États-Unis d'Amérique réunis, plus d'1 million par an. Un pays qui dans tous les domaines du jeu, et nous l'avons vu, toute la recherche, l'innovation et les modèles de frontières est à la pointe de l'innovation internationale.
मित्र प्रेसिडेंट मैक्रो का इस अवसर पर यहां आने के लिए बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। प्रेसिडेंट मैक्रो अभी भारत यात्रा के दौरान आपने कहा था कि इस सदी की चुनौतियों के समाधान के लिए भारत और फ्रांस को एक साथ आगे आना होगा। आज मैं गर्व से कह सकता हूं कि इनिशिएटिव उसी दशा में एक कदम है।
Prime Minister Modi also visited Slovakia, marking a significant step in expanding India's engagement with Central Europe. During the visit, India and Slovakia agreed to elevate their relationship to a comprehensive partnership with a focus on cooperation in trade, digital technology, defense, innovation, and clean energy. The visit, the first by an Indian Prime Minister since Slovakia's independence in 1993, underscored India's commitment to broadening its strategic partnerships across Europe and deepening collaboration with emerging economic and technological hubs in the region.
मुझे खुशी है कि इस महत्वपूर्ण क्षेत्र में आज हमने लेटर ऑफ इंटेंट साइन किया। इससे ज्वाइंट डेवलपमेंट, जॉइंट प्रोडक्शन और डिफेंस इंडस्ट्रीज के बीच सहयोग को नई गति मिलेगी।
From championing the interests of the Global South at the G7 summit to deepening strategic partnerships across North America and Europe, Prime Minister Modi's engagements reflected India's growing diplomatic reach. The visit reinforced India's emergence as a key global partner, shaping international dialogue on security, innovation, economic growth, and sustainable development.
As Pakistan continues to grapple with high inflation, rising debt, and mounting economic pressures, the country's latest federal budget has triggered criticism from many citizens who say it offers little relief to ordinary people. While the government has described the budget as a step towards economic stability, common Pakistanis argue that the burden of rising prices and taxation continues to fall on the common man. Take a look. Struggling with persistent inflation, rising utility bills, and shrinking household incomes, many Pakistanis say economic hardship remains their biggest concern. Against this backdrop, Pakistan unveiled a budget worth approximately $67.5 billion for the fiscal year 2026-27, with higher allocations for defense and reduced development spending. Presenting the budget in the National Assembly amid opposition protests, Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb said the economy had achieved important milestones despite regional and global challenges. However, reactions from citizens in Karachi painted a different picture, with many questioning the government's claim that the budget is people-friendly.
देखिए जी, हुकूमत तो कहती है कि अवाम दोस्त और बेहतरीन बजट है, लेकिन बजट के अंदर जो है सैलरीज पे ऊपर जो है टैक्स को कम किया गया, लेकिन बकाया जो ख़ास तौर पे रोज़मर्रा की अशिया है, शैम्पू है, दूध है, दीगर चीज़ों के ऊपर जो है वो टैक्स ज़्यादा लगा दिए गए हैं। एक तरफ आवाम को वज़ीर-ए-आज़म ख़ुद तकरीर में उन्होंने उनका आवाम का शुक्रिया अदा किया कि उन्होंने जो है वो सख्त जो इक़दाम किए थे उसके ऊपर जो आवाम ने उनका साथ दिया, लेकिन उसके साथ आवाम को रिलीफ नहीं दिया गया। आवाम की आम उनको चीज़ें सस्ती चाहिए, आटा, दालें और इसके साथ गोश्त और जो डेयरी है, फिर दीगर मसनूआत है, दूध है, जैसे बच्चों के जो पीने का दूध है, फिर इसके बाद जो है शैम्पू है, आयल है, और ये खाने पीने का जो आयल है खाने का, उसके ऊपर भी टैक्सेस का इजाफा कर दिया, जिसकी वजह से महंगाई का एक जो तूफ़ान रुका हुआ था और ज़्यादा उसके अंदर जो है वो बढ़ गया। बजट के अंदर हालांकि रिलीफ देना चाहिए था, लेकिन रिलीफ नहीं दी गया। इसी
Residents argue that while the budget includes some tax relief for salaried individuals, higher taxes on several everyday consumer goods could further increase the cost of living. Citizens say essential items such as food products, dairy goods, and household necessities remain beyond the reach of many families already struggling with inflation. For many low-income households, the rising prices of food and healthcare continue to be a major concern. Some residents say the budget fails to address the challenges faced by the poorest sections of society, particularly those dealing with chronic health conditions and increasing medical expenses.
बजट क्या, बस आवाम का खून निचोड़ने का बजट है। जिन हुक्मरानों को जो सीटें गवर्नमेंट सर्विस और मुराद मिली हुई है, उनके लिए तो कुछ भी नहीं है। वो इसलिए कि वो आवाम की टैक्सों से ही वो चल रहे हैं। बाकी रहा गरीब का, गरीब तो इस वक्त इस कदर मर गया कि मैं ख़ुद हार्ट पेशेंट हूँ, शुगर का मरीज़ हूँ। जो दवा मुझे 160 रुपये में मिलती थी, आज वो 500 रुपये की हो गई है। तो आप अंदाज़ा लगा लें मैं दवा से भी दूर हो गया।
The public response highlights the gap between the government's economic projections and the daily realities faced by many Pakistanis. While Islamabad projects its fiscal consolidation and economic recovery, citizens in Karachi say meaningful relief can only be measured through affordable food, medicine, and basic necessities. Critics argue that higher defense allocations, coupled with lower development spending, reflect misplaced priorities at a time when millions are struggling with inflation and unemployment. Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent.
South Korea will shift a line running parallel to the military border with North Korea to narrow the area that restricts civilian access to reflect an evolving security environment and for the convenience of local residents. The so-called civilian control line is currently as much as 10 kilometers to the south of the military demarcation line drawn up at the end of the 1950-53 Korean War. Authorization by the military is required to enter the area. Defense Minister Han Gyu-bak said the change that will shift the civilian access line by an average of 6 kilometers from the MDL is in response to years of request by residents and is made possible by improved defense readiness. The Bank of Japan raised interest rates to a 31-year high, marking another landmark step in normalizing monetary policy as it focused on taming price pressures from the energy shock caused by the Iran war. The hike was the first since December and allies the BOJ, with other central banks shifting towards tighter policy to combat inflation, including the European Central Bank. Deputy Governor Shinichi Uchida acknowledged the recent US-Iran peace deal, which he described as a welcome move, but noted persistent inflationary risks. Hundreds of students gathered across at least 8 major Indonesian cities to protest policies by President Prabowo Subianto, echoing demands made by fellow demonstrators during a rally. Protests took place in the capital Jakarta and other cities. The government has used subsidies to keep gasoline prices unchanged in Southeast Asia's largest economy, despite a spike in global oil prices caused by the Iran war. But fiscal pressures on the budget from Prabowo's ambitious spending plans have been rising, prompting a substantial price rise last week.
Moving on. Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir continues to witness growing unrest as public anger mounts over economic hardship, governance issues, and allegations of excessive force by security agencies. Residents across several districts have been voicing concerns over political marginalization and restrictions on civil liberties, while reports of crackdowns on protesters have further intensified tensions in the region. Their report.
Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir is witnessing a wave of public unrest, with protests spreading across several towns and districts amid growing dissatisfaction with local governance and economic conditions. Residents have raised concerns over rising inflation, unemployment, shortages of basic services, and what they describe as a lack of meaningful political representation. Tensions escalated following a court ruling on reserved assembly seats, triggering demonstrations in multiple areas. Protesters allege that authorities responded with force, resulting in casualties, injuries, and arrests. Reports from Rawalakot, Kotli, Mirpur, Hatiambala, and other districts indicate an increased deployment of security personnel, further heightening tensions on the ground. Many local activists and rights advocates have accused authorities of suppressing dissent and restricting democratic freedoms, allegations that have fueled wider public resentment.
Right now, Pakistani military, Rangers and their middle forces and other goons have been deployed in Rawalakot, in Kotli, in Muzaffarabad, in Mirpur and in other districts. Our area is very small. We have only 3 million and only 10 districts, and 14,000 killer forces have been deployed to subjugate our people, and they have unprecedentedly killed dozens of people, innocent protesters and youngsters in Rawalakot 4 days ago.
The unrest reflects deeper frustrations that have been building for years among sections of the population. Critics argue that economic challenges, limited political empowerment, and administrative shortcomings have left many residents feeling increasingly alienated. Local groups have also expressed concerns over restrictions on protests and alleged attempts to silence voices demanding greater accountability. As security deployments continue across the region, the situation remains tense, with calls growing for dialogue and a peaceful resolution to the grievances raised by residents.
रेंजर्स ने, पुलिस ने जिस तरह घरों में घुसकर, जिस तरह दुकानों में घुसकर लूट मार की है और गोलियां स्ट्रेट फायरिंग की है, स्ट्रेट फायरिंग, कितने कश्मीरी शहीद किए, उसकी कोई अभी तक सही इत्तला इसलिए नहीं मिल सकी है कि कश्मीर में सर्वर वहां का जो इंटरनेट होता है वो बंद कर दिया है। अगर ये पाकिस्तान से ये बर्बरियत, ये गुंडागर्दी, गुंडा राज खत्म नहीं किया गया तो पाकिस्तान के लिए खाकम बगैन वो वक्त करीब है जब पूरी दुनिया देखेगी कि टुकड़े टुकड़े हो जाए।
The developments have drawn attention to the broader challenges facing Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, where demands for transparency, accountability, and protection of civil rights continue to gain momentum. With public frustration showing few signs of easing, many residents and activists are urging authorities to address long-standing political and economic concerns rather than relying on security measures. As tensions persist, the situation in POJK remains under close watch, with growing calls for justice and greater respect for the rights and aspirations of the people.
Across India, nearly every major city is a treasure trove of cultural heritage, historic monuments, and local cuisine, drawing both domestic and international tourists. Today, we take you to Amritsar, a sacred city in North India, renowned for its spiritual aura and vibrant traditions. Home to the iconic Golden Temple and located near the India-Pakistan international border, Amritsar offers a unique blend of devotion, history, and culture that captivates every visitor. Amritsar, a city where history, spirituality, and culture converge. Near the India-Pakistan border, the city blends centuries-old traditions with modern growth. Narrow lanes lead to bustling markets, while new buildings reflect change, creating a timeless yet evolving charm. At its heart lies the Golden Temple, known as Sri Harminder Sahib, a sacred Sikh site drawing over 1.5 lakh devotees daily. Here, faith shines through compassion, service, and the serene waters of the holy pond, making Amritsar a city of devotion, peace, and unforgettable beauty.
I think the beauty of Punjab is the inclusion of all the religion. That's what I was so inspired of. There is no rubbish, there is no trash on the street. Everyone is so clean, and then, how can I say, yeah, and everyone seems so proud of their culture. That is also really good.
Just beyond the sanctum, devotion finds its most tangible expression through selfless service. Inside the world's largest community kitchen, thousands of hands move in quiet harmony. Meals are prepared, served, and shared with a simple yet profound belief: no one should leave hungry. Gigantic cooking vessels, endless rows of plates, and volunteers offering selfless service with humility turn this kitchen into a living testament to equality and human dignity. Every day, over 100,000 people are fed here, without distinction of background, faith, or status, making service itself a sacred act.
ਸਵੇਰ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਰਾਤ ਦੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੱਕ ਲਗਭਗ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ 'ਚ 1 ਲੱਖ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਡੇਲੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਰੋਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਲੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੰਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਲਗਭਗ ਗਰਮੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 100 ਕੁਆਂਟਲ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਤੇੜੇ ਆਟਾ ਪੱਕਦਾ, ਤੋਂ 35 ਕੁਆਂਟਲ ਦਾਲ ਬਣਦੀ ਆ ਡੇਲੀ। ਸੋ ਸਰਦੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਮੌਸਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਟਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਲਗਭਗ 60 ਤੋਂ 70 ਕੁਆਂਟਲ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਤੇੜੇ ਪੱਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਬੜੀ ਸਰਧਾ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਕਤਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਹੀ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਛਕਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਕੋਈ ਸਟੇਟ ਦਾ, ਕੋਈ ਰੰਗ ਦਾ, ਕੋਈ ਜਾਤ ਪਾਤ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਭੇਦਭਾਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਸੰਗਤਾਂ 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਸੱਚਖੰਡ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਹਰਿਮੰਦਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿਖੇ 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਚੱਲਦਾ।
Beyond its spiritual heart, Amritsar reveals layers of history and life. Ancient structures whisper tales of courage and sacrifice, while the city's newer corners hum with ambition and growth. As evening falls, the city pulses with anticipation at the Atari border, India's only land gateway to Pakistan. Crowds gather, flags in hand, hearts racing. Then the beating retreat begins. Sharp commands, synchronized boots, disciplined precision. Patriotism becomes tangible as the flags descend and gates close, leaving eyes misty and spirits soaring. It is not just a ceremony, it is a living tribute to sacrifice, unity, and national pride.
हमारे जो सोल्जर्स हैं उनको देख के आज बहुत आई फील वेरी प्राउड ऑफ देम। आई फील वेरी प्राउड। मतलब हर एक ने ज़िंदगी में, हर एक भारतीय ने ज़िंदगी में एक बार तो यहाँ पे आके ये जो गर्मी, ये जोश जो है, ये जुनून जो है को महसूस करना चाहिए।
हम यहाँ पंजाब आए थे वाघा बॉर्डर देखने के लिए। हमें यहाँ बहुत अच्छा लगा देख के, और एक भक्ति भावना की एकदम जोश अच्छा था, बहुत अच्छा देखने लायक था। और मैं कहती हूँ कि सारे जो भी राजस्थान के हमारे वो है, राजस्थान से, नागौर जिले के, जो भी जोधपुर जिले से यहाँ आए, जरूर देखें, यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा है।
Amritsar is also famous for its rich, flavorful food and traditional Punjabi cuisine, deeply rooted in heritage and hospitality. At the legendary Kesar Da Dhaba, generations-old recipes fill the air with irresistible aromas and warmth. Each dish tells a story where food is not just a meal, but an expression of culture, memory, and identity served on a plate. From sacred prayers and selfless service to stirring patriotism and soulful flavors, Amritsar is not just a destination. It is an experience that touches the heart, strengthens identity, and stays with you long after you leave. From sacred traditions to historic landmarks, Amritsar offers a journey through the soul of Punjab. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Till then, goodbye and take care.